So this is one of the many battles in which you control 3 parties at the same time. So you can move between the parties and move them down the battlefield, and there's strategic ways to position your parties too, and I'm going to speak to that. You get to control the moogles in this battle because basically it's just Locke and Terra's incapacitated right now. So there's Locke and the moogles show up and they're like, hey, we're going to help you out. So you can move between the parties, and then one way you can see what I do here is I kind of jam up all the roadways, if you will, so you can jam up the roadways so they can't get through, or each passageway can jam them up. And then so what I usually do is I'll have 2 passive parties, obviously 1 active. That's what you do in the battle, but in this one they're all moogles. When you get to the one where you do the where you're fighting to stop them from getting to the Esper, build 1 or 2 strong parties, and then have a 3rd party that just kind of sits there and is really just in case the others get wiped out. That's more or less what I do. So even in this one, like, I take the 1 party and just fight as much as I can with that party until I can't anymore, and then I kind of park them. Okay, let's go get the moogles, block the passageways with the other 2 parties so that guys can't get through. Here I have a clean party, so these guys are healthy, they haven't taken any damage. Mog will learn his first dance here. You don't get to use Mog again till later in the game, and then once you have Mog, you can get another character, Umero, who's an awesome character to pick up. Although you never really learn a whole bunch about Umero. He's just like, they call him a Sasquatch that lives in the caves, really, and that's about it. You don't learn much about him. He doesn't have a backstory like the other characters do. Then again, I guess Go-Go doesn't really either, so Go-Go's another hidden character that you get later. And if I recall correctly, you have to go into a worm to get Go-Go. The worm eats you and you go down into a dungeon. A sandworm, I want to say. So yeah, Mog's dances are very helpful in this game. There he used Snare, which is part of his first dance, and it just more or less X-zones a guy. With this being the first time that, you're battling in a party, or in a, I should say, ability to cycle between 3 parties, like, you don't have any magic at this point. So you don't really have a way to heal your guys other than potions. And I find, like, it's not really worth wasting the potions on the moogles, because it's just not necessary. So here we've basically killed all of the all the soldiers who were attacking us. And now we went and grabbed one of the parties that was just completely fresh, hadn't faced anybody yet. So you see what I did there was I used 2 parties to get through, and then when those 2 are basically expended, they've taken a lot of hits. I used the 3rd party that hasn't taken any hits yet to fight the boss. And I mean, again, you have no magic or anything at this point, so it's just attack, attack, attack. Don't bother healing anybody, because it's not really worth wasting potions and stuff on the moogles. And that's it, because you don't retain the moogles. They just help you at this point. They're temporary, guests, and then they're gone. So using potions on them and stuff would have been kind of, I don't know, I see it as kind of pointless. So here we're running out of the cave with Terra. The computer's in control right now. It just runs you out of the cave. It's all part of the story. Locke activates a switch. Switch opens that door. You'll use that switch again later to get back in here when you come back. You come back to Narshe. And if I recall correctly, and I mean this is quite further down the road, but in the world of Ruin, Narshe is the place where you get the Ragnarok. You get it from a chest, I think. And then I think you either, at that point, you can either have it turned into a sword or use it as magicite. Yeah, it can become the Ultima magicite, or it gets turned into a sword, I think. Something along those lines. So, in here we're running away from Narshe now toward Figaro Castle, which is in the sand dunes. And, yeah, having the world map here in the top right, like, very, very helpful, because it actually shows you on the map. You see my little arrow, and it shows us where Figaro Castle is in the sand. Like, I remember on the original SNES version of this game when I was a kid, like, searching in the sand for the castle, and like, where is it? Did I miss it? You know? That was totally a thing back then. It was very easy to get lost. So we're at the castle, we just keep walking straight up, go to the throne room. If this kind of reminds you a little bit of Final Fantasy I, going to see the king in the castle, yeah, it's a little reminiscent. Edgar checks out Terra. I'll just check you out because I'm the king and I like to hit on all the women, so I'm going to check you out too. And my name is Edgar, and I am a Sly King. On to the next video.